What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, the Bad Diggity Dizzle, finally back with another New York Giants video and in desperate need of a shave. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, as always. If you haven't done so, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the description below. Almost at 3,000 followers on each. It would be pretty cool if we could get there. Of course, I'll follow you back if you follow me. So again, please do me the honor of following me on Instagram and Twitter. Also, all the analytics are in for the 24-hour stream. We were able to raise $910 for St. Jude's. I'm just going to round it up and make it $950. So we're going to donate $950 to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And again, I really appreciate everybody that was a part of that, man. The 24-hour streams are always a lot of fun. And I always have a good time doing them, even if they are draining, but it's always a lot of fun. So, again, I appreciate everybody that was a part of that, and thank you so much for, the support on that, because that means the world to me. Thank you for always supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. So let's talk about the New York Giants. Now, I read an article, and it was by Jordan Renan. Not that Jordan said this. How do you say Jordan's last name? Is it Ranan? Is it Ranan? Is it Ronan? I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, it was his article, so let's give him some credit because God knows he'll have a fit if you don't. Anyway, supposedly a source, and don't you always love this, the source. Oh, there's a source that says this. There's a source that said that. But a source that knows very well about the Giants franchise and their roster and everything else says that the New York Giants are not close to a playoff contender. They're not close. They got a long ways to go. I understand saying that they're not close to a Super Bowl contender because I don't believe that they are. They are trying to improve upon that. They are in the middle of a rebuild. Say they're not really a playoff contender, I mean, I can see both sides of the argument. First and foremost, let me just say, the fact that they play in the NFC East immediately makes them a playoff contender, right? Because the NFC East is not a good division, and it's not going to get any better, right? I don't think that anything's really going to make any of these teams become an 11 or 12-win team or 12-win team. So I think that the Giants have just as good of a chance as anybody to win this division. Now, I don't think after the draft, the schedule's a little bit easier and everything else. I don't think that the winner of this division is going to be 7-9 or 7-10 or whatever. I don't think that they're going to have a losing record this year. I think that they will have a winning record. I still don't see anybody winning more than 10 games. I still don't see that happening. I still think every franchise in here is a ways away. They all have glaring holes in their, rosters, and none of them are going to be overly dominant. If there is one team that is maybe ready to take the next step, if they get a quarterback, it's Washington. Their defense is fantastic. They still could use another big play receiver to go outside of McLaurin, but I do think that Washington is also going in the right direction. I really believe in their coach, too. I really like Ron Rivera, so I do think that Washington is probably the favorite going into the year. And I know Cowboy fans are having fit. Well, what about Dallas? I don't like Mike McCarthy, and you don't know what you're doing with Dak. There's just a lot of questions. Your defense ain't any good. And to me, I just don't see Dallas being that team. Philadelphia's, they're in a world of hurt. Some of their fans may not want to believe that, but they're definitely in for a world of hurt. And again, people could call me an Eagles hater. I am an Eagles hater, admittedly so. I hate the Eagles. But, when I do some of these videos about the Eagles, it's not from hate. It's just from what I see. And what I see when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles is exactly what the New York Giants have been going through. It's a team that drafts extremely poorly. It's a team that has really bad contracts. It's a GM that backloaded all these contracts and continued to restructure to just push these things back to try to win more than one Super Bowl. Hard to fault them for that. But at the same time, they've put their franchise in a really, really bad spot, and it's going to take years to get out of that. You don't just turn it around overnight. As Giants fans, trust us, we see this. Dave Gettleman did a really good job this past offseason. I thought the draft was great, although supposedly we were rated really down at the bottom. And this again, that's why I don't even pay attention to these PFF and all that. I don't care. You can take a look and see what you see on the field. Everybody's got a different opinion, but supposedly the New York Giants rookie class was one of the worst in the league and everything else, although I thought that a lot of them produced pretty well this year. But I felt like Dave Gettleman did a good job of the draft. I felt like he did a good job adding free agents and not, paying the moon and the stars for these guys and pretty much front-loading the contract so they could get out after 2 years instead of giving him 3. Giants are going to release Golden Tate. That'll save them $8.5 million. They're going to get rid of Nate Solder. That'll save them another $10 million. Not like we're in great cap situation, but that'll certainly help free up some cap space. The New York Giants, to me, as far as a playoff team goes, if you look at the other playoff teams, the Giants aren't close to them. I'll be completely honest with that. Are they close to, even though we did beat Seattle, I mean, we did beat the Seahawks, they were a playoff team, but really, 8 times out of 10, we're probably not going to beat them. We didn't beat the Rams. We played them tough, didn't beat them. We played the champions, and I know a lot of Giants fans saying, hey, we played the Super Bowl champions really tough, but hey, the Bucs were not the same team in November that they were at the end of the year. And as Giants fans, we've seen that too, man. We struggled in the middle of the year, got really hot at the end of the year, won 2 Super Bowls. So it can happen. Green Bay, probably not close to Green Bay, not close to Baltimore. We got blown out by Cleveland. We saw that the playoff teams that we played were certainly a lot better than we are at the moment. However, with another good offseason, with another good draft, with another good free agent crop coming in here to fill in some holes like number 1 wide receiver, definitely could use another tackle, cornerback 2, edge rusher, linebacker. Can we get them all this offseason? Probably not, but you continue to work at it. The New York Giants are going in the right direction. This is definitely a team with a weaker schedule. And again, my camera's going dark, which I can't stand. But a team that has a much easier schedule. And again, a team that's going to have second year under Joe Judge, second year under Garrett, second year under Graham, and Graham made this defense head and shoulders better than it was. Getting some more players in here, I do think that the New York Giants are going to compete for this division. And to be completely honest, I think they're going to win the division. Yeah, I know it's early to say that, and obviously a lot can happen. We have to see what they do in free agency, have to see what they do in the draft. Health is very important. Obviously, we lost Saquon Barkley all of last season. Daniel Jones is going to need some weapons so that we can know what he is. And the offensive line is going to have to play a lot. But the offense is just going to have to step up. I mean, that's what it is. If the offense can play a lot better this year, and really they have nowhere to go but up, but if they can become a middle-of-the-pack offense, the Giants are going to be a good team. Are they going to be a great team? No, not at all. They still are ways away from being a great team. But they can continue to improve. There's no doubt in my mind we have the right coach. Joe Judge was the right man for the job. Joe Judge has this team playing extremely hard. These players believe in Joe Judge, which is why I do think that a guy like Leonard Williams may come back here for a little bit less money than he may go somewhere else. And as the Giants continue to improve, you're going to see bigger name free agents that want to come here. There's a lot of talk about, hey, the Giants can go out and try to get these guys, but they have to want to come here. They talk about Allen Robinson. Why would he want to come to the Giants? Well, a lot of these guys go where the money is. So, however, a guy like Leonard Williams excelled in Patrick Graham's system, and maybe he sees the writing on the wall. Maybe he sees that this team is going to get better. We'll have to find out. I believe March 17th is the free agent date, so we'll have to see what the New York Giants do on that day and what all the other teams do. But I just believe that the New York Giants coming into the 2021 season, this was the year that I picked them to be good. This was the year that I thought that this was make or break 2 years ago. And I have not changed my mind about that. But I do believe that with another, like I said, another good draft and another good crop of free agents, not that we have a ton of money to play with, but that's not how you win championships anyway. You win championships through the draft. The Giants are starting to build through the draft. They started that in 2019. Barkley was not part of this rebuild. And I saw, as a matter of fact, that PFF rated Barkley like a top 5 worst pick in the last 5 years or something. I don't know if I'd go that far. Hindsight being what it is, obviously, he probably wasn't the best guy there. Everybody looks at Nelson from Indianapolis and says that should have been the guy. But like I said, hindsight's always 20/20. If the Giants would have taken Quentin Nelson in 2018, Giants fans would have screamed, why are you taking a guard that early in the draft and everything else? I personally want a Barkley myself. And I still think that Barkley could be a big part of this franchise, but he's got to stay healthy. He's got to play 16 games, and he needs to produce like he did his rookie season. And obviously that alone will make the New York Giants a lot better. But, yeah, I thought it was an interesting article saying that the Giants are not close to being a playoff contender. I don't know how true that is. Again, we're not close to a Super Bowl contender. We're not going to be competing with the elite teams in this league. But there's certainly playoff teams that the New York Giants can beat, in my opinion. And they certainly have as good a chance as any to win this division in 2021, in my opinion. So that's all I got in this video, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you next time. It's the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace!